Hey everybody, welcome to Mammoth Interactive's YouTube channel. First of all, I want to thank you for watching this video. And remember that this channel doesn't do Patreon. Instead, we sell our digital courses down below. And every single dollar that we get from the products you buy below goes into making more content. The best way to help out this channel and Mammoth Interactive is to subscribe to Mammoth Interactive's huge library of content. Get thousands of hours and hundreds of courses for a low price down below. We have a monthly option and a yearly option. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the video.
Hey everybody, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add in layers to your terrain. Now, it's going to be a very short tutorial, so the quality that we're going to get out of it is going to reflect that. So I have a third-person template already set up here. I also have the starter content. So what I'm going to do is go to new level. We're going to go to default, and we're just going to end up with this default level here. Let's hop into modes, landscape, and what we're going to do is we're going to add in a landscape here. Now, the number of copies that is usually there is 8, but for some reason it's 5 there, and I think 5 is the perfect amount. I also like to make sure that I just move this down within the block here. And then once you're done with that, you can type in the ground grass. You can change it to moss or grass or whatever you want, but let's just type in ground here. Let's just do ground grass and then go ahead and push create, and there we go. We now have a wonderful terrain that we can basically do whatever we need to do with. All right, let's quickly sculpt this terrain. And the one thing I want you to do is when you are always making a level, you should always at least try to make it something similar or something that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to add in some hills. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be production quality, right? So you just basically add in some hills here. And then if you push Control Shift, you can add in some gullies. The strength here is a little bit much. So, you know, you can kind of move things around. You can change with the brush size here, so you can kind of move things around here too. But it's important that you go up and down. The last thing I want you to do is you want to add in some hills, because we're going to be putting in some mountains here. So I'm going to make the brush size fairly big, and actually maybe not that big, but something more like so. Put the tool strength up, and then you're just going to basically going to make some mountains here. It needs to be slightly bigger brush size. And yeah, and so what these mountains are going to do is that they are going to basically keep the player in the actual map here. And it gives you enough to move around here, okay? And let's go ahead and let's push play. And, well, not perfect, but it definitely does work. So you can kind of move these up here. So just kind of move it up here. And there we go. And I think that's good enough for tutorial purposes. Obviously, if you want to spend more time, you can. But if you look at this here, it looks, well, fairly decent, okay? So nevertheless, let's go ahead and add in our terrain material. So how do we do that? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to material. I'm going to type in terrain material. And let's hop right into that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to, and I'm going to be moving this around quite a bit, is we need to type in landscape, and it gives us all these different options here. But first thing we need to do is add this landscape layer blend and plug that into our base color, which is what basically the user sees. So we need to add in the array elements, and we'll add 3. Let's hop in and just expand these right here, and we're going to type in our layers here. We're going to type in grass, we're going to type in dirt, or in this case it's gravel, but okay, gravel, and then the last one is what I will say, it's rock. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to plug in our textures here so that it works here. So I'm going to basically, we need to go find those. So let's hop into our starter content. Let's go into textures here, and we'll type in ground grass, because that's a good one here. We'll just drag that texture here. And I believe if we type in gravel, there we go. And then last one is, it's not rock, but it's basalt. Okay. And the one thing that you have to understand about working with materials is that it can take quite a while for things to render. So first of all, you want to do the grass with the grass, the dirt with the dirt. In this case, it's just called gravel, and then the rock with the rock. Fairly simple. Now the last thing is we're going to add in landscape coordinates, and all that's going to do is that in fact, we could probably, no, we can't do that. So we just plug it into our UVs here, and that should help us out with some of the rendering issues. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and push save, and it does take a while to save. And once it does save, we'll hop back into our other level here. Okay. So here we go, and I think that's it for that. But let's hop in. So we need to push the select button, select the landscape. Instead of ground grass, we're going to type in terrain material. Okay, terrain material, and the shaders are going to compile. Okay, so while those compile, let's hop back into our landscape here, and let's go into the paint. Okay, and you'll also see, like right here, there's no textures there. It's because they're compiling. Okay, and this could take a while to compile. So once these do compile, it should end up being black. Maybe a future version of Unreal doesn't do this. But basically what Unreal is saying is that, well, we haven't really said anything. So what do we need to do? Let's click Weight Blended Layer, and you can basically just put these anywhere. It's not really that important for now. And you just do the Weight Blended Layer and push OK. And you can see that now we have, well, the assets here. Okay. So you can see that we now have, well, the textures and everything works out there. Let's hop into the paint here, and let's go ahead and let's paint something. Okay. So first of all, we're going to select our dirt, and you can see that you can now make a path. But wait a minute. What's happening here? Well, the shaders are rendering. Okay. So I'm just going to do that and wait for it to render. And I'm going to click the rock and make the brush size pretty big. And I'm just going to drag this all over here. And this is normal, by the way. First time you do it, you might not think that this is the way it's done, but sure enough it is. Okay. So, and this is not going to look very professional because I'm just quickly doing it. But, you know, you'll start to see, you know, it will show you how everything works. So if we go ahead and run it, you can see that we now have a dirt path right in front of you, and then we also have the rocks in the distance. Okay, and then obviously the shaders are still being rendered there, but nevertheless, I don't think that is rendering. I think that's the actual texture here. But anyway, that's what you need to do in order to basically to add any of these here. And by the way, you can add these if we hop into terrain material here, and let's say we want to add in another one, right? We'll call this, you know, something else, right? And then if we randomly select a texture, let's pick a nice texture, like some of these are for interiors, but like smooth granite, metal. What would be a good one to do? Doesn't really matter. Let's just pick a concrete one. So we'll drop that in here, and you'll see that if you can simply add to these if you want, and then add this in here as well. Okay, save it, and once that's done, you will you'll be able to see. Well, it takes a while to save, right? But and the shaders will compile, but nevertheless, that essentially you can use the extra one here. But of course, you need to add the weight blended layer to it as well. Okay, may not contain the following characters. All right. Nevertheless, that's basically it. All right. So thanks for listening. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Like and subscribing to this channel really does help. And if you really like this channel, you can get Mammoth Interactive's unlimited subscription, where you get a lot of courses for just a very low monthly fee. It really helps out Mammoth Interactive to make new and exciting courses. We release 20 to 60 hours of fresh new content per month. All right. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in another video.